I wish I were in China at the moment, and I see in the participant list many people I know and many people I don't know. I really miss going to conferences and meeting people individually in person and learning about their research and the things that they do related to R and Bioconductor, and sharing some of my enthusiasm for the project. I'm especially grateful, and the Bioconductor community as a whole is especially grateful to the organizing committee for this conference. I know they've put in an incredible amount of work, and that you, the participants, will reap the benefits of their efforts and show your appreciation for their work. The speakers and workshop presenters are all making contributions that I think you'll find truly enjoyable. And of course, I thank each of you for coming and supporting the Bioconductor community and working with us to make open source scientific software available to the worldwide community. I'm sure you know about Bioconductor. It's a project that was started by Robert, who you'll hear from in a few minutes, almost 20 years ago in 2002. The focus is on the statistical analysis and comprehension of high throughput genomic data. There are now almost 2,000 R packages that are developed by the core team, but more importantly by the community of users and developers around the world. There are more than 1,200 people who have contributed as maintainers to Bioconductor packages. So it's a truly global and cooperative effort. Bioconductor is widely used by with more than 500,000 distinct IP address downloads annually. And it's well respected with a large number of citations in the scientific literature. And I'm sure that many of you use Bioconductor every day in your research. Some of the key resources for working with Bioconductor are its website at bioconductor.org. And then if you have questions about how to use Bioconductor, at support.bioconductor.org. And then as you become more integrated into the community, the Slack is becoming increasingly important. And you can join the Slack at the link in this slides, and also as indicated in the comments a few minutes ago. If you're using Bioconductor, there are many things that you might be interested in using Bioconductor for. Of course, single cell sequencing is hugely important these days, and there's a tremendous resource available at it's called osca.bioconductor.org, orchestrating single cell analysis. It's an amazing resource for learning about single cell analysis. You might also be interested in using Bioconductor for bulk RNA-seq differential expression, methylation SNP expression and other microarrays, maybe metabolics and proteomics or flow cytometry, or visualization of phylogenetic trees, all kinds of things that our Bioconductor is useful for. As you become increasingly engaged with Bioconductor, it might be interesting to turn the tables in some sense and contribute to the project by developing a package yourself. And again, I'll emphasize that there are a large number of people who have done this, more than 1,200 people who have contributed as maintainers to the Bioconductor project. And many of the fantastic packages in Bioconductor come from the BioC Asia community, both well-established packages like Lima and the packages from Gordon Smyth's lab, and a very diverse set of packages from elsewhere in the Asia community. I wanted to say in this slide, just to summarize a couple of interesting things. The first slide shows current users over the picture shows users over the past year, visitors to our website. And you can see that there are tons of visitors from the US where we're based, but also a wide diversity of international users covering the globe, literally. And the number 2 group of users is from China. So it's very appropriate to hold the BioC Asia conference in China, I mean, in quotation marks. And then I've just, in the little chart beside the figure, I've tallied up the rank of number of visitors to the website. The number 1 most common visitor is from the United States. And those visitors have almost doubled in the last 5 years. But then you can see the visitors from the Asian countries, China, Japan, India, Australia, South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore. They're all ranking highly in terms of visits, but also they've really increased their representation in terms of visitors. So the Bioconductor Asia community is a fast-growing community, faster growing than our community in the United States. So it's a very exciting time to be a member of the Bioconductor Asia community. It's great to think about how you can contribute to Bioconductor. And I've just sketched some interesting ideas. It'd be really interesting to explore some of these. It's possible to start or join a local user group at your university or maybe in your company or in the city where you're working or living. I think it'd be really interesting to explore ways to contribute to Bioconductor by creating language-specific training material. For instance, perhaps we could establish a Chinese language Slack channel on community on our Slack. Or, R supports multilingual representations, and I think it'd be really exciting to have vignettes or workflows that have been translated into a language that is more accessible to the Asian community. And I think those would be really interesting projects to embark on. And of course, many people in the Asian community, and perhaps you yourselves, can contribute new analysis as a Bioconductor package. I think these are all very exciting ways in which the BioC Asia community contribute to our worldwide efforts to develop software for understanding high throughput genomic data. I just wanted to conclude with just a couple of brief slides. This acknowledges the contribution of the core team funded by the US National Institutes of Health, the European Union, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. And we develop some of the core infrastructure and make Bioconductor packages available to the community. We have a community, technical, and scientific advisory board. And perhaps if you've been engaged with the Bioconductor community for a while, it would be interesting to explore ways to contribute to these groups, especially the community advisory board, of which Matt Ritchie, I see Matt's video showing, is the chair, the co-chair. And of course, Bioconductor would be nothing without the worldwide community of users and developers. And then my last slide is just a formal acknowledgement of the financial support that we've received from the US National Institutes of Health, the National Human Genome Research Institute, the National Cancer Institute, as well as the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. So with those opening remarks, I'd like to turn the screen back to the conference organizers and look forward to enjoying the rest of the conference. Thanks very much for your attention.